Hey guys, Sam Wheeling here with Bang a Chain. Today we're going to talk about the players meeting for Core Day Classic on Saturday. This event's been hosted about 9 times, so I believe next year will be the 10th year anniversary of the event. This players meeting is just because of the COVID rules. They don't really want large groups hanging around. So basically on Saturday when you show up from 8 to 8:45, you're just going to come to me and let me know you're checked in. I'll have the board up that'll have your hole assignments. Your hole that you'll be playing with the first round will be the second card the second round. That way, after your first round is turned in, when the last card is turned in, there will be a 1 hour break. And then we will start 1 hour from then for round 2. Then when round 2 is over, we'll have the payout. The payout this year will be, since there's no players pack, it's going to be pre-packaged. This is just for time saving. It's basically getting darker quicker at night, so it just makes it a little bit quicker. If you do have any outstanding payout with me, just get with me later. I'll have some of my stuff with me, and we'll try to see what we can do. But we do got to keep in mind time. So we're going to go over the OB sheets. I'm going to have this presented for everyone. It will be on Facebook with all the OB. I basically drew up a map. The good thing is this map is going to have all the tees and all the baskets, all OB, all drop zones. There's only one more drop zone that I will add, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. So to go over the map, if you've already played box before, you know the OBs, you don't have to watch this. There's only one thing you'll need to keep in mind, which is hole 17, and I'll go over that again later. But realistically, it's all about the same. So OBs on and over pavement. So if you're looking at the map, you can see hole 1, the only OB is going to be on or over pavement. Same thing for hole 2. Hole 3, same thing, on or over any pavement. Hole 4 is on or over any pavement. If somehow you go in the pond, which the pond does play more to hole 5 than hole 4, but if you go in the pond on hole 4, you're going to go to the last point that is in bounds with the penalty. On hole 5, it is kind of a blind shot to the basket, so someone on your card can spot. You'll see there's some little trees up on the hill. It'll be a little bit easier to have them sit there and spot, just so you can kind of see if one goes in the water or not. Mainly it's just for pace of play. So on hole 5, if your tee shot goes in the water, you're going to go to the drop zone. If any shot after that goes in the water, it's just normal OB rules. So again, off the tee, drop zone. Any additional shots are going to be normal OB rules. There is a walking path to the left on hole 5, so keep in mind that will also be OB. Hole 6 is the same thing, on or over any pavement, which again, the pavement's going to be mainly to the left side of the basket. Hole 7. So hole 7 honestly is probably one of the longer holes on the course. There is another pond on this hole. You aren't forced to throw over the pond, so keep that in mind. There is some landing zone to the left. If you want and you're afraid to lose a disc in the pond, you can go straight to the drop zone. If you do decide to go straight to the drop zone instead of throwing over it, keep in mind you are throwing 3 from the drop zone. Okay, so you can skip it if you want, but the drop zone is throwing 3. If your tee shot goes in the pond or you choose to throw from the drop zone on your first shot, then that's your first shot. If any shot after your tee shot goes in the pond, it is normal OB. So if you go to the drop zone and try to clear the ridge past the pond and you hit the ridge and roll in bounds, or roll into the pond, you're throwing 5 in theory from the other side of the pond. So just remember, OB from the tee goes to drop zone. Any additional shot for that pond after the drop zone is normal OB rules. There is the walking trail to the left of 7. There's one to the right of the pond, and there is another one if you go long of the basket. Hole 8, we're going to change things up a little bit this year. I think we did it last year, and some people liked it. So if you throw from the tee and you go on or over pavement to the right or over the fence left, it's normal OB rules. So we are not going to use a drop zone off the tee this year. So again, on or over pavement right, over the fence left is normal OB. So there's no drop zone this year for that. On hole 9, same thing, on or over pavement. Now, one of the big things on here is there's some short grass on 9 that's before the road. And that is not OB. It's just on pavement for 9 and over pavement, especially when you go behind the basket. So something to keep in mind. Hole 10, same thing, on or over pavement. Hole 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, on or over pavement. All of those are going to play basically the same. On hole 16, you can go long over the road if somehow you turn one over or just throw a bad shot. There used to be a fence there. The fence is no longer there, so there's no OB on that hole unless it's on or over pavement. On hole 17, I don't have it on this map, but there will be a safety drop zone if your tee shot goes over the cliff. You're going to bring it back in bounds to a drop zone. There will not be a penalty for this drop zone, but it will not be where your disc went out of bounds. So like if you throw over the cliff and you're by the basket and it goes over the cliff, you're going to come back to this drop zone, but it's a non-penalty drop zone. It's more just a safety because of the cliff. And I say a cliff, but usually out of the many years I've been doing the event, I've never seen anyone go over the cliff. So just something to keep in mind. On hole 15, you'll see that there's some bushes kind of in your way. So usually or trees, you're really geared to throw to the right side of it. I don't know if that Mando is marked anymore, but I'm going to play it as no Mando on 15, which is kind of awesome, but keep in mind that you're going to be throwing over 14's tee and you'll be throwing from out of bounds the entire time. So if you don't go back in bounds, you're basically rethrowing from the tee, okay? So this next part, guys, is only for the people really that this is their first event. So if you've played bots before, you've played tournaments before, you don't have to worry about anything else from here on out in the video. You're definitely more than welcome to check on out. I will, again, see you Saturday. We're going to check in from 8 to 8:45. You're going to be on your tee pad, ready to start at 9 o'clock. We will yell the 2 minutes at 8:58, and just make sure that you repeat it. Again, first round, whatever hole you start on, that's the same hole you start on the second round, and the people you play with the first round are the same people you'll play with the second round. All right? If you have any questions, you can ask me on Saturday, or, of course, comment, and we'll get them taken care of. As well as this video, since it's posted online, will play as your players meeting and your OB sheet. So if you have any questions, again, let me know. So, guys, for the rest of you that are staying with me, we'll go over some rules for people that haven't played in events. And everyone else, good luck. We'll see you Saturday. All right, so for the novice guys, or maybe you're playing rec and it's your first event. So keep in mind this is a PDGA sanctioned event, which means there are rules that we do have to play by. Some of you guys might play around with your buddies, throw on or over any kind of pavement. You never really count strokes. So basically, if you throw a tee shot, it goes on or over any pavement. You're going to bring your disc to the last point that it was in bounds. If you're not sure what point, usually your card will help you figure out when was the last spot it was in bounds. Then you're going to basically throw again. So on hole 1, if I throw my tee shot, it goes OB. I drop, I throw my next shot, and then I make my putt. I threw 3 times, and then I'm going to add a stroke for my OB. So basically, I took a 4. Pretty easy if you do it that way. So basically, just count how many times you threw out of bounds, count how many times you actually threw the shot, and then that's your score. Make sure, too, that you also have a mini. We don't really want to be flipping discs or using the disc you threw. You can't pick it back up and just throw from that spot. So make sure that you do have mini. Someone on your card will probably have one extra, or I've got some as well. So definitely let me know. We want to make sure you have it. Okay? Guys, you have the option to throw what's called a provisional. You just need to call it before you throw. So if you throw a shot and you're not sure about a rule, you can say, hey guys, I'm going to throw a provisional. I'm going to play from both discs, and then we can ask the TD, so ask me, at the end of the event, at the end of that round, what the ruling is on it, so that way we get your score before you finalize your scorecards. Okay? So again, just make sure if you have questions to ask. Everyone on your card, everyone should have someone on their card that's played in an event before. So this will help with, of course, knowing the rules. If you have any questions, make sure to ask the guys on your card before you do it instead of after, because you don't want to get stroke penalized. I'm not saying someone's going to do it, but just know you don't want to get stroke penalized. All right? So again, guys, we'll see you Saturday morning. Pretty early because it'll be 8 to 8:45. We tee off by 9. We do yell a 2-minute warning so that way you'll kind of have a good heads up. All right? See you on the tee.